in my mind, for me, what it did was it took off the mask that fame puts on him, like, in my eyes. I mean, I get it. There's only so much you can truly believe and know about a person. Just being an observer, being in the audience, not being, in their immediate surroundings and knowing them personally. But still, I still think it did a wonderful job of creating him into more than just this good looking man, period. You know what I mean? I feel like the media has sculpted and molded him into this just sort of figure that a lot of his value, especially when you hear about news about him or just in the media, a lot of the value is based in the physicality of it all, the beauty of him, the physical beauty of him. And it was just so freeing to know that there was more behind, like, just the physical man, I genuinely felt as though the docuseries was bigger than Jason Momoa. In the end, when you look at it from like a third eye, a greater perspective, it's so much bigger than just him. I mean, it's a journey that is cultivated of so many different stories and perspectives that come from many different people who are all diverse. It's a very unique, I want to say, experience that I had while watching this, because I didn't anticipate there to be so much compassion that I was exposed to, so much empathy and just love, and also vulnerability. When I watched the trailer, it definitely piqued my interest, but you can only know so much about something by watching the trailer, you know what I mean? And based on the trailer, I thought it was going to be mostly about Jason Momoa, and I thought it was going to be centered around him. I thought it was going to be a very, very self-centered type of project, but it was actually selfless. And selfless in a way that just had me crying at some point, okay? Like, by episode 3, I definitely had some tears, because it's so beautiful. You get to see art in a way that isn't just man-made, but just art in a way that is divine placement, divine timing, and just the way that the universe works. Particularly, I loved seeing the documentation of how the universe works in favor of Jason, and how he is using his privilege that he's earned. I feel like it's definitely earned privilege. When you listen to his story and you listen to his upbringing, and again, I don't know him personally, but it's just interesting and honestly humbling to see the way that he's using the privilege that he's earned, that privilege being his fame, sort of being his fortune, being this just sort of honor and this respect, this reputation that he's built that allows him into spaces and gains him access to certain experiences that just the average human being probably wouldn't be able to gain access to. And the fact that he consciously sort of created this I want to say this doorway for the audience to walk through and see what happens behind closed doors. I just thought it was so beautiful. You get to see so many different artists and men, specifically men. It's a very masculine and male dominated kind of experience, but I personally don't see anything wrong with that. I actually think it's pretty balanced because there are certain aspects about the series that incorporate a lot of feminine energy, divine feminine energy, and I think that has to do with the level of the sort of sentimental, the sentimental nature of what it is that the audience is seeing, how much it actually means to him, how it's not just surface level things, and the poetic, sentimental, deeper than the surface aspect of everything that I really, really loved. It didn't feel surface level to me, and I really love that because I crave that. I crave things that are deeper than the surface. I want to know more. I want to be exposed to more than just one layer of a person or one dimension of a person. I want to explore the inner depths of a person's psyche, and I feel like we were gifted that experience, or at least I was gifted that experience by the On the Roam, and I just think it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a click. Definitely worth watching it all the way through, all 8 episodes. Definitely deserving of a second season. That's how I feel, because it was just so raw to me. It was human. It was unfiltered, even though it was very, very edited and very much so put together clearly, but it was still kind of raw.